pushing in the toilet by myself and my water ain't break. So okay, so hi YouTube. Okay, so this is my first video, and basically I just wanted to start off by saying the initial reason why I wanted to make this channel is because I recently had a baby, and I wanted to make a channel where it would be all about sorry, it would be all about me and my baby and life of being a young mommy, and things you just go through as a young parent. And we will talk about different topics and do different things on this channel. So that is basically what my channel is going to be about. And so yeah, so this video is like an introduction slash my birth story. So this can be a story time. Although this is a real brutal story time because I had a real horrible experience. So yeah, this can be interesting. So to start off, first things first, my baby was due July the 23rd, but he ended up being born July the 6th, so the beginning of the month instead of coming to the end. Reason being is because, okay, I had issues with his placenta and thing, and he did not have enough fluid inside there, so they wanted to induce me for him to come earlier so it would be safe, so nothing would happen to him, right? So I went to one of my antenatal clinic appointments just to check up. That's a regular checkup. And well, I have a few clips. First thing first, I have a few clips from me being in the hospital and before I reached the hospital from when I was home, so I'll insert the clips in this video. But yeah, so I went to my appointments, and that's a regular appointment. And when I got an ultrasound and they checked the baby heartbeat and everything was okay, but in the ultrasound, that is when they had found that it had problems with the placenta and that he did not have enough fluid. So the doctor told me they wanted to, I think that was on a Tuesday. Yeah, it was a Tuesday, and the doctor told me he wanted to induce me the Thursday. And so I went to a clinic appointment, and basically it was having some complications. So the doctor gave me a membrane sweep, and since that I've been getting some stuff. So this could be the start of labor. I just wanted to start off the video on a painless, happy note, because I know in the next couple of clips I probably will be in pain or not looking the best. So see my son soon, my son, my baby boy. And I get nervous because I was like, so soon. I did not know this would be so soon, and I was not prepared. Like, my hospital bag was not ready and thing as yet, and I was still trying to get everything together, so I was just nervous. But when he talked to like a higher doctor above him, they said that I'll be able to wait a little bit. They wanted me to go into labor naturally by the next week, and if I did not go into labor naturally by the next week, then they would have to induce me. So I was like, well, okay. So I went home, I told my family what was going on, and I hurry up and get my hospital bag and my baby bag together. And then one day, just out of nowhere, I just started to feel sick. I just started to feel real sick. Like, I had catch a fever and I had bad headaches. My body was a little bit achy. So I just say, let me just go to the hospital to make sure everything okay, because I'm pregnant. I don't want anything bad going on with me right now and things. So that's the checkup. So me and my mother went to the hospital just to get a regular checkup. First thing first, we went Mount Hope Hospital, the worst. Mount Hope is the worst hospital in the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. Anyways, so we went and they asked me what was my symptoms, and they said based on my symptoms I will have to get a COVID test. So I had to wait to get the COVID test because it had other people in front of me. So it had other pregnant ladies there who had to get COVID tests, and they just had everybody outside sitting down in the hot sun and thing, and everybody hot, and they was not allowing you to sit down inside and all kind of thing. It was crazy, and I had to sit there in the hot sun, pregnant, for 2 hours before I could even see the nurse to get my COVID test. And it had a bunch of people in front of me. And I went there like 7 o'clock in the morning early, thinking that I would get you fast now, but that did not happen. So anyways, so finally I had to get the COVID test, and I had to sit down and wait again outside in the sun for the results. So I sitting down, waiting. After like an hour, the doctor came back outside with a serious look on his face, and I was like, well, okay then, why his face looking so he came up to me and my mother and he said, your COVID test came back positive. I was like, what, doc? Like, you serious? Like, I could do over the COVID test, because I honestly don't feel like I have COVID, and this, that, and the third. And I beg to get a next COVID test, and they told me I could not get a next one because it would be the same thing, and the COVID test very accurate, and it will be wasting time to do a next one. So he told me that because I'm pregnant and everything, they will have to keep me in the hospital the same day, and that was the 5th of July. They had to keep me in the hospital the same exact day, and I was so nervous because they're going to put me in the isolation ward. The isolation ward is where like all the pregnant COVID mothers, they just put there. And I was like, I honestly don't feel like if I have COVID, and if they're putting me on this ward, it will put me at more risk to get COVID worse or catch it for real, because it have COVID people who severely have it, seriously bad. So I was scared, I was nervous, and I didn't even have my bags, my hospital bag, my baby bag or anything. My family had to go home, get my stuff and bring it back for me. But while I was waiting for them to prepare for me to come on the ward and everything, I was outside waiting, and my mother had leave to go and get my bags and stuff. I was just telling myself, listen, if it is you really have COVID, just do all what they tell you to do. Take all the medicine, eat right, drink ginger and all them natural things you had to drink, and just cooperate, and don't get yourself worked up. Don't sit down and think about it. Don't be scared, because it will just make you even sicker, and it will just make the situation worse. It's best to keep your mindset positive and tell yourself that you're going to get through this, instead of moping about it and drowning yourself in your sorrows, because that's not going to do any good to the situation. So that's what I was telling myself. But I was also worried about my baby, because I was like, well, if it is I have COVID, could the baby catch COVID, or like how does this work? That's what I was thinking in my head. So they finally put me on the isolation ward. I get situated and everything. My family had dropped my bags for me, and I was there by myself. I was not allowed to have any visitors, because obviously it's an isolation ward for COVID patients, and no visiting, no nothing. Like, I was there by myself, and I was scared. So, update on the labor and delivery vlog. Things changed after a couple of days after the first clip, and now I'm in the hospital, and they say I have COVID. We'll see how it goes. Right now I feel okay. I'm not really having any pains or anything, but today's Monday, and Tuesday they say they're supposed to induce me, so we'll wait and see how it goes. Scared out of my mind, but I was keeping positive and I was trying to keep my peace because I didn't want to stress myself and stress the baby and everything. So they checked the baby heartbeat. Check my vitals. They gave me paracetamol because I had a little fever and thing, and I went to bed that night, sleep normal. Well, honestly, it was not a good sleeper. It was uncomfortable because I was scared, and I just always catch anxiety in hospitals ever since I was small. So it was not really a good sleep, but I was trying to keep the peace. So after that, now the next morning, around 12 o'clock, around 12 o'clock, the doctor came and told me that I would have to get induced today, which is the 6th of July, for the simple fact that I have COVID and problems with my baby placenta, and the baby don't have enough fluid. Initially, they was going to wait till I go into labor naturally, but the reason being that I had COVID, they wanted to do it earlier just to make sure to be safe. So that was unexpected for me because I did not know I was going to get induced that day, and I was by myself and I was scared and everything, but God was on my side. Everything worked out well. So around 12, they came and gave me the pill. That was very painful because the doctor was very rough, and it was like people being so yeah. And I was not really feeling any pain. I was not really getting anything. Like, I was just normal going through my day and stuff. But around like 2 o'clock in the day, I started to feel a little pain. I was like, well, okay, I can breathe through this normal and thing. I accustomed to bad period pain, so I thought I could handle it now. So I did again the little pain and thing. I good breathing through, everything going good, and then all of a sudden, this one pain just hit me in my back and in my belly. I was like, oh my gosh. And after that one pain, it just started to get so intense, so painful. It was just so bad, and I could not handle it. The only thing I know to do was bawl. And I am not a person that is bawl and cry and go on for pain and thing. I have a low pain tolerance, but I still try to bear it. But I could not bear that pain. Like, the only thing I know to do was bawl and cry, and just bawl and cry, and just bawl and cry. And no, I was telling, like, I find that my contractions was getting too close together too fast, because literally I was feeling pain every 5 minutes when the contractions now start. And when I was in active labor, the contractions was every 30 seconds. I kid you not, it was every 30 seconds. Like, I didn't even have time to catch my breath. Like, it was so bad. Like, that is the worst pain I ever feel in my life. And anybody out there who's pregnant or who having a baby or who knows how it feels, like, for the pregnant people, everybody experience is different. I don't want to scare anybody. Some people have higher pain tolerance than some people, but for me, it was the worst pain I ever feel in my life, and I am accustomed to bad period pain. And people who have children know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyways, so so I was getting this bad pain, and I was like, I find this thing coming every 30 seconds, and I find it coming like that too fast, because I wasn't in labor long at all, and I know it's supposed to be far apart and then get closer to apart and then you have the baby. But that is not how mine was working. So I was calling for the nurse to ask questions because I was nervous. I was like, what is going on here? And the nurses and them was scorning you and think remember it's an isolation ward, but the nurses and them was scorning because you have COVID and then want to come around you and then want to check you often and thing and all these sort of thing. I understand, but at the same time you don't have to be disrespectful and discriminate people and scorn people and watch people all type of bad eye and thing because it's disrespectful, right? Even though somebody's sick, even though somebody have COVID, they're still a human being. They still have feelings, you know what I mean? So it was real horrible inside Mount Hope. I was calling for somebody to check me, somebody to tell me what's going on, why this happening so quickly. Nobody was studying me. Literally nobody was studying me. And I was so nervous there by myself. Right? Remember, I don't have no family. I can't even get no visiting hours because I'm in an isolation ward. And the nurses not studying me. Nobody not studying me. Mind you, it had a other pregnant lady who had her baby the same day I came in. And I was asking her to call. She was calling for me. Nobody was studying me. And I was just like, okay, Leanne, you might have to do this by yourself. Honestly speaking. So I had feel to pee, so I went to pee, and after I pee, I just feeling this real intense urge to just like push, like I was not doing it, like my body was doing it for itself, and I started to get nervous because I was like, well, I can't control what's going on here. What if I'm doing something wrong and my water did not break? So I was like, I pushing and my water in break. What if I hurting the baby? What if I'm doing something wrong? And think these people not checking me. Like I scared and thing. And I just, just praying that everything work out and me and my baby be safe. And I was in that toilet for like a good hour, bawling, asking for help, calling the nurses. Nobody is not studying me, and I pushing in the toilet by myself and my water ain't break. I was like, what really going on here? I can't make it out of this. Mind you, real bad pain, contractions every 30 seconds. I had no time to catch a breath. Every 30 seconds I having very, very bad intense contractions. By that time I was in active labor, and nobody not studying me. So I had to call my mom and think to call the nurses by the front desk in the hospital, because I could not walk and go there because remember I have COVID supposedly. So I had to call them to tell them that I having contractions every 30 seconds. I'm pushing by myself in the toilet and my water in break and think, plus I have my baby have problems with the placenta. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. And she called twice. They said they will send somebody to check me. Nobody came. Literally, I had to bang down the nurse door and knock up the nurse door and bang up she table and thing for somebody to come and see me. And by the time two nurses came to see me. By the time they came to check me, literally my baby head was literally like coming out, and she just had to take the little white hook thing to pop the water real fast, and literally my baby was out in like 2 pushes. Like what would have happened if they didn't come there? Like if they had wait longer to come, I would have literally have the baby on my own by myself, like in the toilet by myself. And but while I was pushing, I had an IV access in my hand, and the IV fly out and blood all over the place from my hand was flying all over the place and thing. Because I would not lie, I get on kind of a little bit stupid because I was nervous, I was scared, and I kind of was not listening to all that. Like I was not listening well. that is the correct with me for that, but that is my bad for that. But I was in real pain and I was scared and I didn't know what was going on. So yeah, there was vex about the IV access coming up my hand and whatever, and the next nurse come to put back the IV access in my hand while I pushing. I was like, excuse you, can please wait till the baby out? Like, you see me pushing and you want to come and choke on a big, if you see the big needle this lady want to choke in my hand while I am pushing. Like, that was not making no sense. And then after all that drama, my baby was out and he cried and it was so cute, and I got to see him for the first time, and you know, it was the best and the worst day of my life because I never been through anything traumatizing like that before, and I never had a baby before, so it was the best worst day of my life, if you know what I mean. And after that now was time, well, I get to do skin to skin with my baby, bond with him a little bit, you know, hold him, watch him, see him for the first time. Then the nurses took him away to clean him up and put on clothes on him and stuff. And while they was doing that with the baby, a next doctor, like 10 minutes after, a next doctor came in to give me stitches, right? And I was nervous because I never get no type of stitch in my life. So like, I was scared. So I was asking her what is she going to do and what type of stitches she going to use and all these things. And she did not want to answer my question. She was just moving a real disrespectful way with me. Because I had COVID supposedly. And and it was horrible. She treated me real bad, and I was given trouble to get these stitches because I was nervous and I was like, this is going to hurt. And she said, well, she have the injection thing with the numbing medicine to inject the numbing medicine so you will not feel when the needle going through you when she's stitching you. And I was like, well, yeah, I understand that go help the needle, but what go help from the joke from the injection? Because I go feel the joke from the injection, but I'm not go feel the needle, and I don't want to feel nothing at all. And I was saying, obviously, you can't run away from that, you know. You had to get that. So eventually, she get fed up on me, and she had to call her next doctor to do it. And when the next doctor came, he was moving the same disrespectful way. Like, all the nurses and all the doctors in Mount Hope, I don't know if it was because it was an isolation ward or if they just normally get on so on all the wards with all the patients, but it was just very disrespectful, very just scorning you, discriminating you, telling you all kind of disrespectful things. And it was not a good experience at all, and I would not recommend anybody to have the baby in Mount Hope. But yeah, so eventually I got these stitches. I had to tug it out. But I got these stitches and thing. Then I had to go and clean up myself and thing. And then I was able to like have the baby and like bond with him and, you know, breastfeed him for the first time. And yeah. So that was a whole experience. It was horrible. And I would never have any more kids in Mount Hope at all. I don't recommend anybody to go there. And yeah, when they did not even like weigh my baby when he now born, because none of the scales was working. They had to wait till the next day when I had to go home. Then they weighed the baby. And my baby was 5 pounds 6 ounces, and he was born 3:45 in the evening time on the 6th of July 2021. My little prince was born. You know, the best day of my life. I love him so much. But yeah, it was real horrible, and I wouldn't recommend anybody to have the baby there, and I would never have any more kids there or go there for any more services because they're very horrible. So yeah, and my baby they tested my baby for COVID. He was COVID negative. And literally after he was born, all my symptoms went away. I was not feeling sick anymore. I did not have an achy body. I did not have the headaches and stuff anymore. And they did not even test me back over for COVID. But because I did not have any more of the symptoms and I did not have any fever and my vitals was good, I would not have had to stay the 2 weeks quarantine in the hospital. They was able to send me home the next day. So I went home on the 7th of July. I went in the hospital the 5th, had him the 6th, and I left on the 7th of July. So I got to go home, and when I went home, I was normal. I was sanitizing, doing everything, and I wasn't really around anybody. But I was feeling fine, and I ended up not having COVID. So I did not know if they just put me there or if they mix up my COVID results or something and thing. But it was horrible. So yeah, while I was on the isolation ward, when I had my baby, the night, he was born 3:45, but the night, around like 6-7 o'clock, they had bring a next lady with her baby on the ward, on the isolation ward. She had her baby on the maternity ward, but they brought her and her baby on the isolation ward because she had COVID severely. Like, she needed oxygen, she was on a ventilator and everything, and they had to take her baby away from her because her baby had to go to the NICU because her baby got COVID from her, and they put her literally right next to me. I was here, she was here. I did not think I have any COVID, even though they're telling me I have COVID, and I was not getting any more symptoms of anything anymore. My baby was COVID negative because they tested him for it, and they literally put a severe COVID patient, literally got her baby taken away from her to go to the NICU right next to me and my baby. And I was so angry about that. Not because I was discriminating the lady, but that is just putting me and my baby at even more risk to really get COVID, right? So I was just sanitizing like crazy, washing my hands like crazy, make sure I'm not touching anything, and then touching the baby. Like, I was just so cautious because this lady literally have COVID severely, and she's right next to me, and I was so scared, and God was on my side because I was fine, my baby was fine. We came home, we didn't get any symptoms of anything when we came home. Everything was good, and I thank God for that. And I really had to thank God for that because that was such a bad experience, and God is the only one see me through that. God is the only one see me through that. I'm glad, like, I had the strength and I had the willpower and the mindset to get through all that. Like, it was so traumatizing, and it just make me not want to have any children again. And but yeah, so that was my birth story on having my baby. And y'all could tell me what other videos or what other types of content y'all want to see from me. I'll be doing everything on my channel, like not only videos with me and my baby, but I could do like pranks too, pranking my family, and other video ideas, morning routine, those type of stuff, raising a baby, all those type of stuff and things. And yeah, bye guys.